Welcome to a very special inaugural edition of the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that happened at the 57th presidential inauguration. This week, Washington, D.C. was transformed into an historic stage, with an estimated 1 million people on hand to witness the president and vice president take the oath of office at the United States Capitol. Through it all, West Wing Week was there, from the terrace of the Capitol to backstage at the balls. America, take a moment to look back at where we've been this week for this special edition of West Wing Week, January 18th to the 24th, or Behind the Scenes Inauguration 2013.
I'm doing great. I'm ready to work.
On Saturday, the First Family kicked off Inauguration Weekend by participating in the National Day of Service, helping out in the construction of some new bookshelves at Burrville Elementary School in Washington, D.C.
I hear reports that the very young people did some really good work, and some of the older folks like me who it hurt getting our knees kind of bending down a little bit. This is really what America's about. This is what we celebrate. This inauguration, it's a symbol of how our democracy works and how we peacefully transfer power. But it should also be an affirmation that we're all in this together, and that we've got to look out for each other and work hard on behalf of each other.
Then came the kickoff event of Inauguration Weekend, with the First Lady and Dr. Biden honoring military families at the Our Children, Our Future concert, where families of active duty, reserve, and retired service members got a chance to catch performances by some of America's top artists. Sunday was officially the last day of the president's first term and the first day of his second term. In the morning, after the vice president had been sworn into office, the president traveled to Arlington National Cemetery, where he met the vice president for a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknowns. Later, in accordance with the Constitution, the president was joined by Chief Justice John Roberts in the Blue Room, where he was officially sworn in just before noon.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Thank you so much. Thank you, sweetie.
Monday marked the 57th inaugural ceremony in our nation's history. Here's a little look back at that historic day.
America's possibilities are limitless, for we possess all the qualities that this world without boundaries demands: youth and drive, diversity and openness, an endless capacity for risk, and a gift for reinvention. My fellow Americans, we are made for this moment, and we will seize it so long as we seize it together. For we, the people, understand that our country cannot succeed when a shrinking few do very well and a growing many barely make it. We believe that America's prosperity must rest upon the broad shoulders of a rising middle class. We know that America thrives when every person can find independence and pride in their work, when the wages of honest labor liberate families from the brink of hardship. We are true to our creed when a little girl born into the bleakest poverty knows that she has the same chance to succeed as anybody else because she is an American, she is free, and she is equal not just in the eyes of God, but also in our own.
That evening, it was time to celebrate. First, at the Commander-in-Chief's Ball, where, yes, the Commander-in-Chief dialed in troops serving in Afghanistan via video teleconference.
Thank you very much for having us here at your party. Congratulations.
The First Lady then joined the President on stage for a first dance, serenaded by the one and only Jennifer Hudson. They then visited the inaugural ball, where they got the dancing started at that party and had a chance to thank the many talented musicians who were there to perform.
All right, now we got to do the move.
On Tuesday, the President, the Vice President, the First Lady, and Dr. Biden attended the 57th National Prayer Service at the National Cathedral, where leaders of a wide array of faith traditions gathered to pray for our nation and our leaders.
We must all learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or we will all perish together as fools.
Then the President and First Lady reprised a tradition that began in their first term, a special surprise greeting for guests on the White House tour.
Hey, just wanted to say hi to everybody. Good to see you. You're in Malia?
Thanks for postponing.
I think Bo thinks your coat might be alive. That's not alive, Bo. Sit. There you go.
It was a very cold day out there, and many times I was like, I should just turn around and just go, and it'll just come another time. And so happy I did it, and it's amazing. Oh my goodness.
He gave me a hug, and I just forgot what's going on.
This is January, and I can say that this is a great year.
That night, the President and First Lady got a chance to thank staff and volunteers at a party that marked the end of the 57th inauguration. Thursday marked the arrival of the first snowfall of the season in the nation's capital, while the White House continued a series of conversations on Google+. This time, it was Vice President Biden who hosted a fireside hangout, a 21st century take on FDR's famous radio addresses, to talk about reducing gun violence.
And so make your voices heard. That's one of the reasons I wanted to be in this chat. There's tens of thousands of people listening to this. I don't care which side of the issue you're on.
Later, the president appeared in the state dining room to introduce his nominee to be the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mary Jo White, and to announce that he'll renominate Richard Cordray to run the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Both Mary Jo and Rich have the experience and passion which they'll need to implement Wall Street reform and stand up for American consumers in Washington, D.C. To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.
This is going to protect our hands even more. So these are gloves for your hands.
What do we protect our hands from?
The stain will actually stain your hands.
So like when I put my hand up tomorrow, they'll be able, or on Monday, they'll be like, hey, how come he's got...
Just don't be a white square.
How come he's warmer?